Good morning, River Chase. Welcome again to my home for our Thursday devotional. I hope you're all happy and healthy and doing well. I miss your faces. I think about you daily and pray for you. It's been a busy week for us Ingrams. Maggie just finished up 7th grade yesterday. It was her last day of school. And we'll be dropping off her books and computer to the school tomorrow morning. It's amazing how quickly the time has passed this school year. It seems like we were just putting together all of her school supplies at the start of the year. And don't you just love shopping for school supplies? It might be my favorite shopping trip of the year. It's the excitement of all the events coming up in the fall, a new start. As I was thinking about the devotional today, I remembered something that Maggie did when she was in 2nd grade. And I would just share that with you. I had picked her up from school after a long day, and she's 7. And on our way home, she asked me, "Mom, how many bricks does it take to build a house?" "I don't know, Maggie, maybe 10,000 bricks." And I pointed to a house that was just outside the car. I said, "I think that one's just a little bit more than 10,000. And then she asked me, "Well, how much does one brick cost?" I said, I don't know, $1, maybe $2. And I said, "Why do you need to know these things today, Maggie?" And she said, "Well, I'm trying to figure out how much money I'm going to need to build my house." And she is still like this. She loves to plan. She's just like me. She is planning out her future daily. She now plans to go to Jefferson State College because it won't cost as much. She had thought about going to Auburn University, but after hearing how much it costs to go to Auburn, she wants to go to Jefferson State first to get those first couple classes under her belt. And then from there, she wants to go to UAB to study to become a surgeon. Jason and I have learned to stay out of these decisions for now. We know that she will change her mind a few more times. This week, I was scoring scholarship applications for Maggie's school's 2020 graduates. And Maggie began her planning her own essays for scholarship applications in a few years. Now, don't forget, she's just finishing up 7th grade. We know that we can inherit eye color and hair color, our grandpa's nose, or our great-grandma's curly red hair. But did you know that we can also inherit perfectionism and pride? These deep characteristics can be passed along from our parents to us and from us to our children. I've identified these specific characteristics in my mom, myself, and now Maggie. We are also planners. I love checklists and planning out my day. The sense of accomplishment when I've checked off the last item from my to-do list is exhilarating. Last July, I decided what our vacation Bible school theme would be for this year. It's called Knights of North Castle. I printed off plans for decorating the church, inside and out, and crafts that we would do with the children, some science experiments that we were going to try out this year, and I bought a ticket to attend a vacation Bible school workshop 6 months in advance. Vacation Bible school is an immense undertaking, from planning out the lessons to registration, recruiting volunteers, keeping safety in mind, and gathering supplies. When the church closed in March, I quietly rejoiced a little bit about all the planning I'd be able to get done from home. And can I just tell you that no matter how prepared I am, things rarely go as planned. My family of planners is in good company. The Apostle Paul was also a planner, and for me there's some comfort knowing that Paul's traveled rarely went as planned. After reading the end of the 15th chapter in Romans, we know that Paul planned to spread the message of Christ to Rome and from Rome to Spain. He made decisions and began to lay out his plans, and God guided and directed his efforts. But that isn't what happened. Instead, he made a 180-degree turn at Troas in obedience to a vision from God, taking the message west instead of east. We learn this in Acts and see that God used his obedient servant Paul to convert Lydia, to free a slave girl from possession and ownership, which landed him in jail with Silas, and that resulted in the conversion of a jailer in Philippi and his entire family, the jailer's entire family. And we continue to read in Acts that Paul and Silas ended up in Thessalonica and then Berea. Paul left Silas there in Berea with Timothy and continued on to Athens, Areopagus, Corinth, Antioch, Syria. He went to Ephesus, Caesarea, Galatia, Phrygia. Verse 23 in chapter 18 of Acts tells us in all these travels, Paul strengthened the disciples. God's plans will always be better than our own. My prayer for Maggie, her children, and myself is that we would be as flexible in our plans as Paul was, that we would be ready to drop our current checklists and pick up the one God has already authored. I want us to strengthen the disciples too. My life is wonderful, but not what I had envisioned for myself 30 years ago at the end of 7th grade. It's better than I imagined. And thank goodness that not everything is handed to us on a silver platter, because how boring would life be without its challenges and surprises? This week, I will be switching gears on our Vacation Bible School plans. What I had planned for this summer is very different than what God had in store. I will be shifting Vacation Bible School into a virtual online adventure. Throughout this closure, I've learned new software programs and editing techniques that equipped me for this new way of directing Vacation Bible School. I'm always amazed at God's provision and timeliness. He is so good to me. Would you pray for our Vacation Bible School, please? That it would strengthen old and new disciples, that it would be a catalyst for conversion and for freedom, and that it would reach entire families. We are doing Vacation Bible School in such a way that we can reach entire families because we're going right into their living rooms and teaching. Would you pray that God would have a church full of obedient servants willing to drop their own plans and pick up the will of our Creator? I love you, River Chase. It's going to be a busy week as we reopen the daycare and just start to follow this new path. I hope that you will be well this week and that we'll be together again soon. I'll see you soon. Bye, River Chase.